Prop firms denying payouts, hundreds of thousands of pounds, rules becoming more difficult and essentially harder for you to make money. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly what you need to be prepared for so you do not get trapped in this. I understand it's stressful, I understand there's a lot of fear around what's happening and some uncertainty. Well, the good news is I have solutions for you that are going to prepare you for the long run. I'm also going to give you a rare insight into our one-step evaluation on our in-house fund that we have been running for the past 3 years. Never before have we released this to the public, and in this video, you're going to learn more about it. Denying payouts. Are you shocked? Well, you shouldn't be. With all the stuff that went down with MFF, what did you expect? Eventually things were going to follow, and I think deep down, many traders knew something would happen, you just didn't really know what. And now what's happening? Denying payouts, people getting banned, your accounts are being breached, and sometimes for no reason your account's frozen, and you don't really understand why. So what I'm seeing in this industry is that we've now got so many of these firms suddenly in a position where, because they built things on a short-term basis, it was all quick. Eventually, it was going to come back on them. We just didn't know how long it would take. Now what we have is a whole bunch of influencers, so to speak, telling everybody what firm they think is the greatest without understanding the infrastructure, which is kind of disingenuous when you really think about it, because if you're promoting one firm, then you're promoting another one, and then another one, and this one's good and this one isn't. At what point do you actually even know what you're referring to? This is why I always say to our students, I can't tell you about these other firms. There are firms that I do actually think are great, but I can't go and name them because I still don't know the back end. I'm just going off of what my perception is at the time. But I'm not surprised why there's a lot of people in that position where even with MFF, you might have been waiting for a 10K payout and it didn't come. Very difficult for you to think about, okay, so how do I actually build my long-term trading career if I think that no matter what, I could just wake up and then I've got a payout pending and it just doesn't come anywhere because the company doesn't exist anymore. Before we get any further into this episode, make sure you are subscribed to the Market Brief. It is our free weekly newsletter. Every single Monday morning, you will get free weekly analysis delivered straight to your inbox. A few minutes a day and you'll be up to date with the financial markets. Links are in the description to subscribe to the Market Brief. This was only a matter of time. When you see things built on the short term, always running big promotions, discounts, trying to get as many people through the door, doesn't matter how many times they fail, just keep on giving discounts, so people can just keep taking challenges without actually doing the self-awareness, without doing the inner work. You've now got people in ridiculous amount of debt. I mean, I have been shocked by the amount of people that have gone so far into this rabbit hole of spending 10K, 20K, 30K, $50,000, $60,000, not a single payout yet. And what, we think that's okay? I wouldn't even dare dream of allowing anything like that to happen on our in-house fund, because there is the well-being of the individual. Like, at what point do you say to a trader, hold on a minute, you've done 35 assessments, you clearly don't know what you're doing, stop gambling. But again, when you build things in the short term and you're not actually thinking about the people, this is what happens. So why did we build our prop firm in the first place? Well, I can assure you this, it is not uncommon, before I tell you that, for our traders to keep their accounts over 2 years, which is unheard of when you think about it. People are getting paid out, they are losing their accounts within 60 days. Bearing in mind, if someone was to keep their account for 6 months, they would see that as a huge achievement. If they kept it for a year, they would think, right, I really know what I'm doing. It's very normal for traders in Falcon to do that. However, one of our success rates is one of the best in the industry. Now, I know you can't compare from a sample size point of view because you can't really compare it to hundreds of thousands of assessments, but even with what we've got, the results are ridiculous. So when we have traders pass on the in-house fund, they become portfolio asset managers, I don't expect them to just lose their account next month, and that doesn't really happen. That would be so rare, such a small percentage of people that would do that, and that would be a really reckless mistake. And it's because we've built things in the long term in mind. We've built the Funded Traders Club, which I'll talk about that at a later stage in this video. So everything has been built from the off, so then we're gonna be around for many years to come and thrive. So why have we been so successful over the past 3 years? Well, it is no coincidence. We have a one-step assessment, 7% profit target, which in my opinion is very, very generous, coupled with Discord, support, community, having live webinars, resources, you name it, access to the 6-figure club and then the 7-figure club, which is the Funded Traders Club that I alluded to earlier. So there is so many things that is more thought out. As you can imagine, if you're competent with your skill as a one-step evaluation and that you can make 7%, without going into the nitty-gritty of all the scaling plan, you're 17% away from 6 figures. And when you get towards 47%, collectively, you would be close to 7 figures. So it really is a pathway in which that not only do you know who you're dealing with, not only have we thought for the longer term, when you're making money, you'll have opportunities to go further with that, which is the perks of the 6-figure club and the 7-figure club. So we've really thought this out and we've taken our time with it. This is why we don't really speak about it openly to the outside world, because it's exclusively for our in-house students, which brings me to my next point. Before we move further into this episode, if you haven't already, make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. The more you invest into the channel, the more the channel invests back into you. We love creating these videos and we really appreciate the love and support. So how do you join the in-house fund? Well, we have something very exclusive for you guys. Never before have we ever done this. So usually, in order for you to get access to the fund, you would be a Falcon member for a 6-month period, and then you would have the opportunity to apply. Or if you were a Rewired member, you would also have a route to access the fund that way. Now, in these turbulent times, we wanted to be a beacon of light in the industry. Now, I understand a lot of you are stressed about it. We've had thousands of messages over the past 3 years, always asking, how can I get access to the fund? And it's always been exclusive for our in-house members. But we're doing something for the month of March. Anyone who is a Falcon member, so this is the way for you to access it, all you need to be is a Falcon member and you can apply for the in-house fund. We're giving you this opportunity for March only. After that, then it will be closed. But this is just an opportunity for you guys to get access to our infrastructure and essentially be part of a fund that is going places. Be part of somewhere where in the future you'll have access to the 6-figure club, the 7-figure club. We've recently done a wealth creation mastermind for our funded traders in Dubai. We've got a yacht party in Dubai at the end of this year. We're scaling towards a monstrous goal on our in-house fund, and we have got plans for the next 5 to 10 years. So if that resonates with you and you want to be part of that, it's very simple. The links are in the description. All you need to be is a Falcon member and you'll be able to apply, but for March only.
So Mark, can traders trade on the in-house fund even if they're with a different strategy?
Technically, yes. So what I would advise to those that have that sort of thought process, if you like, for March and March only, like our goal with the fund, and this would be a good bit of context actually, so our goal for the fund is knowing that eventually we can't have every single trader trade in the same way, because then you can't hedge it, right? And as you get bigger, it's almost like a future problem. So in the earlier stages, it isn't really an issue. But as you become bigger and bigger, you're like, okay, we can't have similar, even if it's not the same instrument, you can't have similar pairs that are in the same direction, all exposed to the same risk at the same time. It would be a nightmare and it would be chaos. So we have to have, and this brings me to the divisions part, which is why I want people specializing in divisions. People trading like, they're running up the precious metals department, someone who's trading maybe one particular pair, or someone who's trading just indices. That's why we need that. So eventually, you actually need traders that are not trading the same way as us anyway, which is why we originally opened up, right, if you're a Rewired student, of course Rewired is not privy to just Falcon, it's psychology, which you need if you want to trade a decent amount of money. So those have a route into there. So technically they're on the fund and that's hedging it nicely. So for March, that actually works brilliantly. So if you are someone who's, for whatever reason, sitting on the fence wondering, is that going to be effective? Of course, but you've got to get in before March, and then they can of course have the benefits of the whole infrastructure as well, the community and all of that type of stuff.